Is it possible to go to a kill pen, look at all the horses that are available, and find your next Grand Prix dressage horse? I'm Sarah, and that's exactly what I'm going to try and find out. I've always had big dreams when it comes to horses, but not really a big budget. And I think that's really common for a lot of people who love horses and want to ride and compete, but didn't grow up in a horsey family. I grew up riding horses and I always had a lot of fun. I grew up barrel racing and riding Western, but I always had a love for English riding. When I was younger, if people asked me what I wanted to do, I would always say I wanted to be an Olympic show jumper. And while I did spend a little time dabbling in show jumping and hunters, I eventually realized that my heart wasn't in jumping. My heart was in dressage. I really love training horses and working to develop that true partnership. But when it comes to dressage, it's not uncommon for a quality prospect to cost upwards of $30,000. And for an accomplished dressage horse, they can easily go into the six figures. These are not numbers that are even remotely possible for me when it comes to horses. So what am I going to do instead? This is where my crazy plan comes into action. I spent the last 3 years out of horses, starting a family and having a wonderful time. But now I'm ready to take the leap, get back into riding and owning horses, and I figured what better time to work on my goals of becoming a Grand Prix rider than now. There's really no reason to wait, and as I get started again with riding horses, I figured this is going to be an amazing time to find a young horse to partner with and go through the levels, training and learning together. And so now I have done just that. Let me introduce you guys to my new kill pen rescue horse, Vhagar. So after scouring kill pens online for many months, I finally came across Vhagar. Vhagar is the horse that I decided to bet all the marbles and back and see if she can be the horse that gets me from an everyday rider up to a Grand Prix level rider. So she is a wonderful, special young horse. She's a 3-year-old Dutch harness horse, and she is registered with the Royal Dutch Sport Horse Association. So she is definitely my diamond in the rough. When I was searching through the kill pen to find my next riding partner, I wanted to find a young horse, preferably unstarted, that had quality movements and just looked like she had the right type of attitude and mentality to make a great riding partner. I looked at so many horses, I can't even tell you how many horses I saw. It was heartbreaking, and it was really hard sometimes to pass on horses when they just didn't seem to quite have exactly what I was looking for. But my patience finally paid off, and I'm so thankful for Vhagar. I really don't think I could have found a better partner to start with. Since we brought her home, we've accomplished one of our biggest short-term goals, which was getting Vhagar started under saddle. She did absolutely amazing for her first few rides, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds for her. She's got a great brain and is just a really sweet young horse and very willing to please and work hard. She's got a lot of drive to her, which is really exciting going forward. I'm no stranger to the fact that getting a horse trained up to the Grand Prix level takes quite a bit of time, but I'm really excited to spend that time with Vhagar and really document each step along the way for our journey. Now that we've got Vhagar started under saddle, our next biggest goals are going to be working on the foundations to get her ready for the young horse classes next year. So dressage, they start young horse classes at 4 years old, and I definitely want to see if she is ready for those next year. It's really going to depend on her mentality and just how well she's taking to the training. I don't want to push her too hard for 4-year-old classes when my ultimate goals with her are to make it all the way to the Grand Prix. Our ultimate goals with her are to compete through the levels and get her all the way to Grand Prix. That's going to take quite a bit of education on both our parts, as I definitely have a lot to learn. And that's where this vlog comes in. I'm going to be documenting all the steps I take to get there, what I learn, mistakes I make, and any accomplishments along the way. So I'm really looking forward to sharing this journey with you guys, and I hope you stick around. Our next short-term goals are going to be getting Vhagar more responsive to the aids under saddle and getting her solid at walk, trot, and canter before we start developing and practicing for the 4-year-old test. I definitely don't have the traditional setup, And while a kill pen rescue horse is not the traditional horse chosen for dressage, I really believe in Vhagar. Vhagar's performance at the 4-year-old classes are going to be a big indicator of how close we can get to Grand Prix. It's a little crazy taking an unstarted 3-year-old from the kill pen and deciding that this is going to be my new Grand Prix dressage horse. We believe it's possible, but we don't know. I don't know anyone who's ever done this before. I've never heard of it, and I'm excited to see how it goes. It's going to be a long road getting this young horse from kill pen to Grand Prix dressage arena, but I invite you guys to join us along for the ride. Drop your comments and questions down below, and I'd love to hear from you. And let's stick around for the journey. Mwah.